So yeah, in case to any of you who have been concerned why I haven't been uploading any videos lately, it's like been a week since I posted my last daily news vid, which was on Street Fighter 5. But I've actually been kind of busy. I've originally been playing with a Steam controller. It's a new kind of controller, a very interesting controller. It only has like one analog, and there's this like supposed kind of right analog. I say that with quotes because it's more of a flat pad thing. It's supposed to be the equivalent to a mouse. It's supposed to make like many games that were only keyboard and mouse games playable to that controller. So I'd say like I've only tried some fair games, but I do plan on trying RTS games and see how they fare with the Steam controller. But anyways, let's move on to today's news story. In more Capcom-related news, Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 are being remastered for next-gen consoles, and frankly, I'm fairly excited. Even for 6, because personally, I kind of feel like people bash on that game for the sake of bashing on that game. I understand the fact that it's silly, it's stupid, it's far from being survival horror, trust me, I know, but Resident Evil 4 was kind of the same thing. I mean, sure, it has some horror elements, but it was really stupid, okay? It was stupid. But it just got stupider from there. It's just, like, 4 didn't really take itself so seriously. 5, for some reason, took itself very seriously, despite being as stupid as the previous one. And 6 is balls to the wall action. It's absolutely insane. It's not fun. Especially, like, it's not fun when you're not playing with someone else with 5 and 6. Like, if you're playing it alone, it's not a very fun experience unless you're playing it with someone else, which I plan to once I actually buy them for next-gen consoles, because, personally, I would love to play through all those games, because they're just a joyride of games. They're just insane fun. While, personally, the last great Resident Evil survival horror game was the Resident Evil Remastered. People say Resident Evil jumped the shark at 6. Well, Resident Evil jumped the shark right at 4. And people say it's one of the best Resident Evil games. And the only reason Resident Evil 4 is the way it was is because the Resident Evil Remastered on the GameCube didn't sell well, which was kind of silly. Like, they took the sales numbers of that game on that one particular platform and say, oh, well, people don't like survival horror anymore, so let's just make it action. Just very slow-paced action just to please the survival horror players. But it's kind of odd, because if they hadn't put like Resident Evil Remaster on GameCube, I think the Resident Evil series could have went in a completely different direction, because sales of the Resident Evil Remastered on the GameCube version at the time had nothing to do with it being survival horror. It was the fact it was on a Nintendo platform, okay? People were buying the PS2 or the Xbox. The Nintendo platform was, what do you expect? It's Nintendo. They're always a few steps backwards compared to the competitors, but what do you expect? But when you compare it to the Steam sales of the HD remaster, it's making sales records, because the horror scene on PC is doing very well, especially with the indie crowd. It's doing rather well, and that's why I think Resident Evil didn't die with 6. It died with 4, because that's where it really got silly. Like, I mean, they knew they couldn't top it. It's where they got silly. And I do like 4, 5, and 6 for it being a bombastic ride, just like how I like the original Resident Evils for survival horror. And eventually I do plan on buying Resident Evil HD Remaster, because seriously, survival horror, man, it's my kind of genre. And yeah, I'm very excited for these remasters. And sure, some may argue remasters have been done to death and they're kind of a cash cow, but I don't really care. I just really want to play these games again with a friend or something and have a fun time. Crack a few beers, have fun, be a grand fun old time. Anyways, my name is Traj. I'll see you in the next news story. Peace.